starting Tavkuf Nun Aleph Sif Vav. Kalim Chadoshim. We're going to discuss the Kalim Chadoshim. Bein Levonim, Bein Svuim, Bein Shel Semer, Bein Shel Pishton. Okay, these are different kinds of garments. Aser Lil Boish B'Shabbazu. V'anu Machmir Rosh Chodesh Ve'elech.
Shabbos means the week of Tisha B'Av.
Yes. And the Mechaber says from Rosh Chodesh. Now, what are we talking about? Ubemokam atzarech lichboish begal b'machbesh ken al dechal miguhatzim afili yeshanim. Okay. V'hayda nagal yisur b'gdi pishon lovshon b'Shabbos chazayin af al pishon lovshon kvar kam b'Shabbosos adayin gihutza nikah v'havik yechadashim. If you have things that still look new, you shouldn't be wearing them. Next. V'yesh amrim she'asol l'sakim begadim chadashim u'minolayim chadashim b'Shabbazu v'yesh lahachmer b'zeh mirosh chodesh. And those that say she'machmer Rosh Chodesh v'hu adin the asol liknoisam. You not only can you not make them, you cannot buy them. V'chein umen yisol asol la'asoisam la'acherim. He's not allowed to be a tailor and make it for other people. Bein b'schar, bein b'chinam. Even if he's doing it for free, you're not allowed to be involved in this occupation.
Strict on Chol
Cholamoid, it depends.
If it's gonna suffer financial hit, there's no option.
You can make it for non-Jews, right?
We're going to discuss that. The nagol hakol b'zeh aval in yadua before said shavalacha shel eina Yehudi. If it's clear that he's doing this for a guy, then it's shari. Because
Nagol hakol b'zeh means a Jew.
yes.
Okay.
V'chein nagol lo says le'umna einam Yehudim l'sakin kelim chadoshin toch zman hazeh k'dei sheyimuchonim la'achar hatainis. You can give it to a guy to do if he's going to, you're going to contract him that should be done after the tainis. Miu toiv l'mayit b'zeh b'mokum de'efshar de'odif mishar masu matan dima'atinon. You're not supposed to be involved in all kinds of transactions that are not necessary. So,
Why is that different than buying it for after?
buying is worse
For after it's fast.
Yeah, it's asking why. Why is it
because you have the full item now.
as opposed to employing someone to fix it.
You're not going to have it,
Until after
right?
the time.
Okay.
So you can buy it to have it delivered afterwards.
The Paiskim discussed that if you could order something on Amazon and have it delivered, that's okay. Says the Mishnah Berurah, this is very important. Also the Sakin, v'tzar lover she'also lasses begadim chadashim, v'chein ampolia shekarin zokin also la'oreg. You're not allowed to make socks, which we call these unimportant items. Maybe nowadays that's like your whole personality comes out in your socks, but in the olden times, what?
Depends how colorful your shirts are.
Yeah, but the tzarech, now this is going to be one of the most abused halachas that rabbis have to deal with. Well, the tzarech nisui and misha eno ishu banim mutar lasos begadim chadashim. A person who is getting married and he doesn't have children, he's allowed to make begadim chadashim. The medina mutar afil lisa, he's allowed to get married. Kenal sif katan yadalid. Afil b'tishu asu shori lasos aide akum l'tzarech nisui. So if you have, and this is the question, which is always all kinds of chasans and kalas, they push off all their shopping for the 9 days. Now, it doesn't say that, right? What does it say? If the situation arose, and that's what's available to you, then you can do it. But we don't work it out that way. You're not allowed to buy or wear new shoes.
Does that apply for someone who's dating also? The same situation.
Somebody who's dating, I'll just tell you a line that I told to many yeshiva guys that asked me, I'm going on a date. I said, you want to marry a girl who wants her husband to be mekel in the 3 weeks or sfira? Like what's the deal over here?
What happens if he says yes?
So then I'll say why. This is an important question. This is there are many things which a person has to know why they're doing what they're doing. No, if you're the kind of a person that you would really not want to wear your Shabbos clothes in the 3 weeks, in the 9 days, because it's not the right thing, and this girl, for her, it would be important. Does it show that you're not on the same page?
Yes. You're doing it to be able to do the mitzvah. Or whatever.
No,
generally,
he's saying that it's a dating thing. You'll see that she's not for you.
Right.
because
So
you
no,
care
it's
about-
here is we have the question. There's a famous story that they always say about the guy who went to take a job, became a lawyer, and he went to take a job in a firm, in a big fancy firm, and he wasn't sure if he should wear his yarmulke or not. He decided not to wear his yarmulke, and he didn't get the job. Because the reason why they decided to interview him was because they saw that he was a person with integrity, that he wore his yarmulke wherever he went, right? So we have to figure out what are a person who, I'll just share with you a fascinating thought. Who are you fooling? There's a fascinating story from the Chayz of Lublin, and this story is a very important story that everybody has to review this probably once a day. There was a chassid from Lublin that he went to Varsha to go to work, and he became very successful. And after a year or two, he started rolling up his beard and putting his payas under his yarmulke, But whenever he came back to Lublin, he would, he would go back to the old look. And after 10 years, he said to himself, the Rebbe, the Chayze, he could see from one end of the world to the other. He knows how I dress when I'm in Varsha. So he went to the Rebbe in his city clothes, the slick look. And he comes to say Good Yantif to the Rebbe. So the Rebbe will not say Good Yantif to him. A whole Yantif, he tries to get in to speak to the Rebbe will not speak to him. So he's going back to Varsha, empty-handed. Before he leaves, he gets a message that the Rebbe wants him to come. Okay. The Rebbe says to him, of course I knew how you dressed when you were in Varsha. Just I, all the years, thought you were really one of us. And when you go there, you're fooling them. Now I see that you're really one of them. And when you come here, you're fooling us. Out you go. Okay? So this is the kind of a thought that I think once a day this is probably relevant for us. This story. Okay, so who are we fooling and what are we trying to be? And there are people who have, because of work, they have to not wear yarmulke. Because of work, they have to shave. But as I say, what do they do on Sunday in those situations? Do they shave? Okay, some do and some don't. I'm just saying. So this is an important nakuda.
If someone wants to buy his clothes or whatever during the 9 days for whatever reason, would it be more lenient if they sent a Sephardi to buy it for them?
With your shliach.
No, but the same way, for example, if someone in his community takes some Shabbos early and they forgot to take something on and they see someone that's going to later
Shimon, I'd like to ask you a question. Which one is the question? You have two halachas. One case you say you can have somebody else do it for you. And one place you say that you can't. Which is the question?
Which is one you're most surprised at?
I'm not sure. I thought there might be a comparison between them.
What's it? I'm saying which one?
Which is the chiddush?
Right. Which one is the chiddush?
Shabbos.
What?
You've taken Shabbos and you can ask someone to do something for you.
Of course, that they
Chol
were-
Shabbos. Followed you to Chol Shabbos? That sounds pretty interesting.
Okay. We'll just say the answer to the question is that they're not comparable at all. The reason why he's allowed to do that is because he could make it Ois Shabbos. He could be maternetta, that's what the Bush says. And it's not like really Shabbos for him. Okay? But when you're having somebody buy something for you, then he's buying it for you. Now, if I know you need something, if I'm a Sfardi, could be I could buy it for you, but, not telling you about it.
What happens if I send him to buy for me and he lends me the money, meaning he does the real kinny? And I tell him I'll buy it for you, there's a sale, I need these things, you go buy it with your money and I'll,
It's going to Israel.
it's still good.
Is he allowed to buy a pair of shoes that he'd wear on Tisha B'Av? On the
Rav
9
Moshe
days?
Feinstein has a true about it, he says that you're allowed.
You are?
It's not true.
But it's a tzarech for the so. I'm going to say the same thing as I said last week. When you have these questions because you need to do something because something happened, we'll deal with it. But the idea of how we're trying to live in these times, that's what these halachas are supposed to be projecting. I'll just tell you, today someone came over to me and he asked me that the school that his daughter goes to, they have a machaneh in the 3 weeks. Some of them even have it in the 9 days. What kind of chinuch is that? A machaneh is they
Keeps
go on
them
a,
off the
they
streets,
go on a,
great chinuch.
That's basically school
Keeps them
extra
occupied.
tuition. Is nothing.
No,
What do you
it's
want
not.
them to
School
do?
doing it?
The school does it, but they're going on some kind of a trip, an overnight
They
trip
go
for 2
fuel.
days or something like that.
It was the
So he asked me, is it okay or it's not okay? So I said, what's your question? What do you want to know? So I said, you want to know if it's mutter? Yes. You want to know if that's what you should be doing? No. Right?
But now that his whole daughter's school is going, should she go or should she not?
That's a different question.
I understand.
So, no, it's if you're the school, you shouldn't be trying to get, you can get a 10% discount if you do it at this time. Probably you shouldn't be doing it, right? You should do it at a different time. But most of the schools, they don't have much of a choice of when to do it. It's
It's only vacation time.
yeah. So, but I'm just saying. But the question is, if a person doesn't have anything to wear, can he buy something to wear? I'll just tell you, I get this question I get asked very often. Somebody who has to travel in the 9 days, they're going to America. And I've asked this question many times. Do I have to take my linen with me? I'm going to go to your house in America. Are you going to put fresh linen on my bed?
Yes.
Are you allowed to put fresh linen on your bed in the 9 days? No.
So he's
You're
gonna
not
sleep with him.
So do I have to do that or not? No, you don't. But the question
Yes.
is a question. All right. Now so the reason why the person's using that fresh linen is because it's a very cumbersome thing for a person to take his, But all right.
I
Actually,
prefer
it
to
goes
take my
one on the
linen
floor.
that's used than to use someone else's.
Okay.
That's not-
So
Should
they
he throw
give
it on
with
the
you.
floor before he buys it?
Okay. All right. The Nashim Nagi Delala Mishte, Shaholchin the Orko Shal Baget, Vulashin Shasi Erev, the Imra, the oil of. They don't put the threads on the warp and the whiff of the loom. Okay, and the Mishnah Berurah says, and they shouldn't be doing the rest of the sewing either. Okay.
Why? Is that like a schmuck thing to put the shred? Like what's...
No, because that's to do with Evan Shasia. That's to do with it's based on a different, yeah.
Play on words?
Yeah, it's a play on words, but it's not a play on words. In other words, we understand that those words are connected.
We connect. Okay.
Yes, right.
Common
Okay.
names.
Here comes the Ramo. V'noagim shelo lekadesh hachodesh ad achar Tisha B'Av. Okay, now this is a fascinating halacha into itself. Okay, now the next halacha is very important. Yesh nagir shelo lechol basar v'lo lishtos yayin b'Shabbat. Okay, umuter b'chaymet shel yayin. You're allowed to have vinegar. V'yesh mosifim Rosh Chodesh Av that they don't eat meat from Rosh Chodesh. V'yesh mosifim mishavasar b'Tammuz. Okay. V'matzniim b'chodesh b'chodesh elech sakin shel shchita that we don't shecht. She'en shechtin ki im l'tzarech mitzvah or l'chayil l'shabbos or l'mil opinion aben. I just would like to share with you a question somebody told me that they heard on the radio this week, and there was a raya brought from the halachas we're going to learn over here. There was a camp or something like that for teenagers, and the advertisement they put in it, they're having arucha b'sari kol yom. Okay? And it was a whole week thing, and twice during that week they did not serve meat. And when the administration of the camp was asked what's pshat, so they said we didn't serve it on Monday and Thursday because there are those who fast on Monday and Thursday. And besides, mana bisari just means a prominent meal. It does not mean that it has
Which country was it?
Israel. All right. Now, this was a question which was.
Can I ask which circles it was in?
It's a question of his false advertising.
What circles was it in? Yerushalmis, who actually don't eat basar on Mondays and Thursdays, some of them really? Or
This was a question I said. It was asked on the radio. What do you want?
oh, you can pull out suddenly you care about Mondays and Thursdays, you never heard of it?
No.
You just don't know why we
No,
say
but there's halacha over here. Okay, let's see the next halacha. V'yesh misha'amer she'anogin shel lechol basar b'yamim haniskarim mutarim b'tafshel shel bishul by basar v'asurim b'basar oif u'b'basar maluach v'yayin taisis. Now, what about if you say having a fleshing a meal? Could you have chicken? In Hilchos Nedarim, it discusses a person who says that I'm not going to eat meat if he's allowed to eat fish.
I think people refer to it differently
but
nowadays.
in Durham, though, it's Lashon B'nai Adam.
Right?
There, it's more
Not
Lashon-
everything is totally in Lashon B'nai Adam. This was part of the, that you had to be able to
But
reconstruct.
especially in Israel, when you say manava sarit, you don't mean oaf. Everyone knows oaf. When you say basar, manava sarit kol yom, you don't mean we're going to serve you chicken.
What do you mean?
You mean a meaty, at least a heavy meal, a big meal. Oaf, everyone has schnitzel. That's not called a manava sarit schnitzel.
I disagree.
Schnitzel.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. That's for sorry.
When you say mana, we're going to serve you a manava sarit,
Yeah.
and they see schnitzel and green beans.
That's correct.
But it could also mean
I
parrot
don't
meat.
think that would matter.
Exactly.
It could be soya.
It could be soya, sure.
No.
Sorry, it usually means meat.
No, not really soya, because soya is already
Not really soya.
Very
I'm saying the soya is already not really. Not really soya is
Problem is that
They have the printed meat.
printed.
The 3D printed.
Already sorry means a meat meal. Means to say
it means a
meal.
meaty meal. Meat meal, not a. There will be
Okay,
some.
wait.
Yes.
We're not going to paskin the shana right now, but if the person would have the cholent without eating the meat in the cholent, is that permissible in 9 days?
No. Here it seems to say yes.
Okay.
No, it says.
Mutar betavshel shenisbashel boy basar, right? Okay,
Was there a must say?
he doesn't say. The other place can discuss it.
Has the Rav heard of the minhag not to eat fish 29 days?
No, I didn't never heard
There's
of
not much
it.
left to eat. No, there's no product.
My
What you
father's
eat.
a famous
No
boxer.
product.
Had minhag. And if I remember correctly, I seem to remember he was discussing about Bullman's Boch, and he told me it was a minion of the ballet minhag of the ballet Josephus, but I've never been able to find it.
All right. But it probably comes from this idea. The reason why we don't eat meat is because the korbanos were made out of meat.
Oaf is not good. You can't bring a chicken on the festival.
What? There's birds. Green birds.
You bring a chicken on a chicken?
You ever mulika on a cow?
Again?
Did you ever do mulika on a cow?
I never did malik on a cow, no. But
Okay.
Yonah and an oaf is not the same thing.
Why not?
Fowl.
Any fowl.
I never gone to Rabbi Segli.
Okay.
What if you have venison?
He
That's
does
not
not
proper
chicken
korban.
meat.
Tough.
You got options.
Okay. All right. Now here we get to the subject of. I want to get to this Ramah. Okay. You give it to a child. Ubeseudas mitzvah kego mila upidyon abem besir mesachtos beseudas erisin oichlim basar b'shoisin yayin. Now I will just put in a pitch for the Chabatzkers. The Chabatzkers are very into bedafka making siyumim in the 9 days.
But not to eat meat. They're into making sumi, but not to have a fluffy soup.
Now the reason why is because the idea of why there's a churban is mitigated by limud Torah. In other words, there's a reason that they're making it. It's like a tikkun. Aval yesh letzamtzem shelo lahaisa b'shvua shechal boy Tisha B'av ve'en lechol basul lishtas yayin rak minyan mitzumtzum. Just a minyan mitzumtzum. Ve'afilu okay. Now here's a very important Mishnah Berurah. Rak minyan mitzumtzum ayin zayin. Dahainu milvad hakroivim apsulim le'edus u'milvad balei hamitzvah. That means besides guests, not the people that are involved.
I mean, the 10 should be, the 10
The 10
additional
people,
people.
right. Mutter l'hoisef asar mishumreyos v'shar, and the other people who are not those 10, oichlem achol echolov. V'hitnei b'levush kosov the Rosh Chodesh Tisha B'av loichim minyan mitzumtzum. V'yesh lochem asara b'vad akroivim ha'sheyachim l'bal ha'suda. The people that are shot, okay, v'hinei b'chayodam hetik al-bushal. They're chayim mashma d'chol d'yochol lino l'halko k'dat sa'amah. Rosh Chodesh Eshchol v'Tisha B'av mutter l'zamen kol ha'sheyachim l'suda afilu kama minyanim. V'mchol amila o'esim mesechtes b'Tisha B'av shechal b'Shabbos. L'kuli yam mutter l'zamen kol ha'kroim she'yirtza. I'll just say last year I was at a bris and they served fish and chicken, and they made 10 portions, for the people that were of chicken, and everybody's able to decide for themselves what they wanted. All right, but the idea is very important.
When I went to camp many years ago, they did sumis every night for the 9 days.
Yes. Now this is that's a different.
Wasn't it like
There are many restaurants in New York.
It's not even restaurants.
Okay, now just make a.
There are restaurants in New York that make this.
Camp people are there. It's not just people walking in
Right.
to
Now,
take advantage.
When I make a siyum, okay, if I would make a siyum, I would say it's okay for everybody here to make a siyum. But not everybody lives on a chov lachish, right? Why? Because
2,000 people.
no, that's not the reason why. Because they have no shaykhis. Then it becomes, there's no connection. So it just becomes like a way of trying to be matir something which is usher. In a camp, and this is a question, how much is the camp a single body? And this also depends probably who's making the siyum. But
You're
that-
semech with the guy who's making it because it's a.
it's part of your
Camp simcha.
yeah. When you're in yeshiva and you make a siyum, so they make it a lot of times in the dining room during supper, right? everybody, right? Right, because these are your people, you know. So how big does that spread itself out? That's not so clear.
It doesn't matter that you're actually located.
What?
Probably not in the mirror.
Yeah, I'll just make a statement speaking about yeshivas from when I learned in Lakewood. So I don't know how it works nowadays. So I sat at the same table every day. Now, the people that sat at that table,
In the mirror that works in the first level.
that's the same people ate.
That's your 5. That
Right.
You say food for
So, but sometimes it happened. I come to my table and there was no room on my table, so I'd sit somewhere else. If I would sit at a different table, I would not be mitzvah to Zima. If I'm on the bus, okay, and I'm eating a sandwich, and the guy next to me is eating a sandwich, and the guy 2 seats in front of me are eating a sandwich, can we mitzvah for Zima?
For sure, yes. But
What's the connection? Why are we eating together?
you can see each other.
It's the same thing in a hotel or a restaurant.
Okay, in a hotel, you go to a restaurant.
There for sure.
You go to a restaurant,
To be
and
yourself.
you are eating with your wife, and the guy next to him is eating with his wife. The guy next to him is eating with his wife. You can be mitzvah for a zimun,
No connection.
right?
You went there
A
to be away.
hotel is the same thing, basically.
Right. So unless you're eating together, and sometimes if you're always on the bus together, so then sometimes it becomes that you are eating together.
Yeah.
So
You make a minion on the bus, you can. Because it's,
No, that's
you could create. That's all. Okay. Okay. Despite the shua zecher rosh chodesh ser shavoy is also.
Are you allowed to eat on the bear bus?
What?
Is that lechatchila to eat on the bear bus? Is that considered eating bashuk?
I don't think so. Okay, Yudalid. Also, the Gedalim L'Sapek Tanim U'Lechabes K'Susam. This week I was asked by somebody, his grandson has to have a halakha. And the parents want to make it in the 3 weeks. And he is the family barber. So he asked me, is he allowed to give his grandson a haircut?
Wait, is he Hasidish or Litvish?
Litvish. Is the boy allowed to get a haircut?
if he's 3,
That's 2 quite separate questions.
or because it's sar for the gedolim or sar for the.
Oh, certainly, Gedolim L'Sapek Tanim.
On the who, though? On me, to give him a haircut, not on the 3-year-old to get a haircut himself.
Fine, but who's gonna do it?
Seder, but it's on the Saba, not on the
So it's-
shave.
Well, your answer has nothing to do with the question.
No.
He is allowed to get a haircut because getting a haircut when a person turns 3, it's like a chinuch issue. It's a time to get. The halacha is you don't take a haircut at Chalamoid. The person who becomes 3 in Chalamoid is allowed to take a haircut at Chalamoid. And it's not only because he couldn't take a haircut beforehand. It's because it's like Yontif Shaloi. It's
Yeah, but he wouldn't know the difference if you did it a week later.
Exactly. Or even 2 weeks later. What will make a difference to him? To the parents, it makes a difference.
You look
But
at
not to the kid.
They got him for birthday 3 months later.
I'll tell you what the
wait.
Chassam Sofer would say. Not in this world.
Kid knows.
It's
Saying you're doing something.
right. You are doing something.
He's getting a
It's
haircut
not a
when he's 40.
cutesy thing. It's a real thing.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
For you-
It's a Hasidic
For
thing
years, no.
that the Ashkenazim took over,
Yeah.
the Litvish took over, but it's just something right now.
Bad
That's,
sense
that's,
is
that's,
not such a.
you can wait another 2 weeks, and then give it that, or start it
Get
earlier,
trauma to it.
before he's 3.
I never heard
The
of
Orla,
this.
the Orla's gonna
Now
be
that's why it has to be
responsible.
under the 3 weeks. I will answer it.
Okay. Okay.
No such trauma.
So we know who to send your way.
Exactly.
Okay.
But as the grandfather, maybe it'll be way too simcha to the kid away. It's give his son.
He's allowed. It's just like you're allowed to do for a bris. You're allowed to.
I'm allowed to give the guy a haircut if it's his birthday. Do the same thing.
Yeah, theoretically. Okay. There are those who say that a person should push it off, but technically, la'alocha it's mutter. So,
The spirit, everyone pushes it to Lag Bomer instead of doing it a week before,
Right,
even if that's
that
the
also.
birthday.
Because the tikkun is better on Lag Bomer, clearly.
I'll tell you, there are those that do it on Lag BaOmer even if they become 3 after Lag
Yeah.
BaOmer,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? Because
because
this
Lag
is
Bomer.
right. Okay, the Moshe Freud, he was very busy with this. Sometimes he said one way, sometimes he said the other way, and I'm not an expert in this field, but I'm just telling you what the halacha is.
So apparently the actual day is not that important.
Can I ask you a question?
Lag Bomer is the
Is
day.
a bar mitzvah that important that it should be on that day?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he's
Machlekes
chayv
between
mitzvah.
Rav
He's chayv
Zalman
mitzvah
and
said
Rabbi
that.
Yasher.
And the next day is also chayv mitzvahs.
But that's the
No
first
more.
Time that's the first time he's chayv mitzvah.
That's not-
Okay, the halacha is that if you make a seudas bar mitzvah shaloi on his day, it's called a seudas mitzvah. Yes,
Postpone, not
postpone. Earlier is a different question, but
But
postpone.
if you're celebrating his bar mitzvah, and he's already chayv mitzvah, so that's the seudas mitzvah.
Yes. Okay.
You could eat meat
But
during
that
the
day
night.
has intrinsic meaning because he has to daven then. He has to
Bar mitzvah is
on that.
only 9 days.
What is the criteria? You cannot jump around. You have to say what is the criteria that makes it into a seudas mitzvah. Okay.
We're focusing on the Suda now.
What makes the Suda into a Sudas mitzvah? If the Suda is there to make people aware, to have a shaykhis to some kind of a mitzvah, then that's enough.
We were talking about a haircut, not the Suda.
How big the menorah has to be to push off the
Right, the
This-
avelis. Okay.
this similar to when they used to shave in Ner Yisrael, maybe it was called Ner Yisrael.
But those sphere, those in sphere, not in theories. Yeah.
The same type of deal.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mio begadim shalafim eventinok legamri shemoitzi v'emarei u'mashtinim bahem hani vadi mishashori to wash them v'afilu bigdei shar ktanim noagim lahokel begadim of other ktanim were makel because they get them dirty all the time. Okay.
Our current day children, this applies? That wear
I think
diapers
so.
and all type of
I
things
think
like
so. I think that this heter, this extension of a heter, is for things which are perpetually dirty. Okay. Now I'll just make a statement. I believe, and this is the opinion of Chacham Ben Tzina Avushol and also the Minchas Yitzchak. When is a child not a cut?
13 in one day.
When he stops playing in the mud.
Is that 13 in a day? I just want to
Depends
make
on
sure we.
Depends on the kid.
Okay. So, for different halachas, the answer is different. And for this halacha, it's as long as the kid is dirty all the time. Right? So, I would say a kid till 5 or 6 is dirty all the time.
Would it be
Perpetually dirty, is that the word?
Yeah, that's a good word. But if you have one of those neat kids who are kind of just their clothes don't get that dirty somehow.
So then they don't have the hat there.
It's a perpetual
right,
dirty thing.
right.
So,
And
someone who works in construction.
Interesting.
I, when I was learning shechita, I used to shecht every day in the 9 days. And my father told me the first thing you do when you get home is take a shower. That's all.
You covered in blood. What is it?
Yeah, what about
You
cleaning?
stink.
What about
Yeah,
cleaning the
it's
clothes
just-
also?
What?
You said you can clean the clothes also.
I would change my clothes. I had different clothes for when I was in.
Oh, you had shchita.
Yeah.
And then go back into the dirty clothes the next day?
I mean, the answer is yes, but no, it was on top of my clothes. I had like a pair of rubber pants and
Oh, fisherman.
Yeah, I had the whole deal, and that's how I worked.
I did when I went to farm side also.
Yeah, all right, but
What about
Tish-
hiding the shchita knife during the 9 days?
That's if you didn't have a reason. If you have a reason, you're allowed to. This is actually a
meat out to
machlekes.
be eaten.
It's going. The Rabbanim were all makel on this. I was very busy with this 40 years ago, but the bottom line is that they allow it to be done.
Dish
That happens
towels?
during the
What?
holidays.
Dish towels in the kitchen, used in the kitchen, and they're always getting dirty.
Even though on Chalamoid there are those who are makel, I think in the 9 days one should be machmer. Even in Chalamoid, it's not so plush a thing to be makel. Person should try to survive without having to wash them. All right. Okay.
Does this perpetual dirty thing also go with showers and kids? Kids that are perpetually dirty, you shower them.
I'll just tell you, it goes with adults also. Adults are
Yeah,
also
that's
perpetually dirty, right?
That's true, but the adults could, we're supposed to survive a little bit, so we have to push.
He just said about himself that
Right.
Most of my kids are not doing shita. As far
oh,
as
you don't know what they're doing when
I'm-
they're outside.
All right. Let's continue. יש נוגעים שלא לרחוץ מראש חודש, ויש אין נמנם אלא משבת זו. אוקיי, ויש מסענים מתשעות עד תשע באב. אוקיי, לצורך מצווה שרי, ולכן נידה רחצס וטבלס. She's allowed to do all of her regular preparations. ואפילו אם טבלס ליל עשרה באב, מותר לה לרחוץ ערב תשע באב. אם יש לה לרחוץ עשרה, she can't do it on מוצאי תשע באב. ונראה דהוא הדין איש הלבשת בגדים יוכל לרחוץ מעט כדרכו בשער שנה, הואיל ואינו עשויה לתענג, רק לצורך מצווה. Now these words are very, very difficult. I'm going to share with you a question, which this question is asked by the Pri Megadim, it's asked by the Teresi Kasil, and most important, it's asked by me. Okay? On Tisha B'Av and on Yom Kippur, we wash Negelwasser till here. Why?
It's supposed to be pleasurable to wash.
That's the minimum.
Because the machlokes if you have to do it here or not, and yeah, we hold that this is good enough, right? I don't buy it.
For the pleasure part?
Yeah.
How's
If
that
I'm
pleasure?
going to wash my hands in the
Okay,
morning till
pleasure.
here,
Yeah.
there's only one reason why I'm doing it.
And we do that for the Kohanim.
It's dirty.
What? No, the Kohanim have to do it till there.
I'm saying we do it till
Right.
for the Kohanim.
Right?
Nobody, because he doesn't have a vidya.
Right, he doesn't have a vidya.
till he needs
So if I'm doing it to be Makayim the Lechatchila, why is that called that I'm doing it L'taino?
And then pleasure.
You understand the question? Okay, when you wash Negelvas in the morning, you wash them till here. If there was no halacha, where would you wash your hands? You wouldn't. Right? Okay? So the reason why you're washing your hands is for pleasure?
No, because it's halal.
So then what's the problem?
I agree.
It's so you know it's Tisha B'Av. You do it.
After you use the washroom, don't you wash your whole hand anyways also?
Yes. But that's different. That's a different
So
question.
therefore,
There-
also I don't understand
That's
why you
good.
can't do it all the way.
That's because it's dirty.
That's dirty.
Yeah, but still, so.
All right, so this question, there are a variety of answers to this question. I'm not going to get involved in all the answers, but the basic answer is that being that b'diavad you could get away without it, we see the hana involved. And I'm going to share with you where this idea comes up, and it's a very big machlokes haposkim. On Tisha B'Av, is a person allowed to use deodorant?
Yes.
It's gonna smell.
That came out of learning which sugya.
It's gonna smell next to his neighbor.
Yeah, it depends who's going to be close to him.
Bada Yeshiv.
All right. There are those. First of all, after everybody answers the question, let's just stop for a second. What is the question?
Is it pleasure?
Doesn't matter if it's rub on or if it's right.
What is the question?
doing the sicha.
What is the shaila?
Is that
Doing
part of
sicha
washing?
on
Is that
Tisha
sicha?
B'Av. That's what I would assume the question would be. Is that considered sicha?
You're not
Rubbing
doing-
something on you.
you're not doing
It
it for-
smells nice.
No,
You're
just
not doing it for
fine
physical
smell.
pleasure.
It's the modern day Shemin Parsif.
Just so it's fine smell.
The question is
Farsi
whether it's for
Farsi
pleasure or not. If you're doing that for pleasure, we're doing that for proper hygiene.
It's not hygiene, it's the hygiene.
Okay, I'm going to, since it's the summer, so Rosh Chodesh and Yom Kippur is in the off-day. I'm going to read to you two Mishnah Berurahs in Halachos Yom Kippur, and I want you to tell me if there's a difference between them. Okay, the Mishnah Berurah in Simatov Reish Yud Gimel says, "Shaloi asu ela rochitza shel tainuk
Which Mishnah Berurah?
beis." V'loshen zeh mashma de'im hizeh harbe v'roitze lirchotz lahaver hazeh muter kivon she'en rochitza shel tainuk. Mikol makom mi she'enu itztenes ve'en etzor rochitza zu kol kach nachon lahachmer shel lirchotz b'shil hazoras hazeh. Kemo she'asu losoch b'shem lahaver hazuama, as we'll see in the next halach. Take a look in Tafresh Yud Aleph. Also locha afil mixes gufu afinu enu elo lahavir hazuam. Afshu shaloi letainug aser. Sicha shaloi letainug is aser. Rechitza shaloi letainug is mutter. Right? So we start off in a negative situation. Right? You're going to, it's harder to be mater something which is sicha than it is to be mater something which is rechitza. Okay?
Make a difference with
Which deodorant?
It's a blow-on deodorant.
How does it make any difference? Alright. Now, Lamaisa,
Rechitza is probably more shabbal kolam than
that has nothing to do with it. The question over here is, what are you doing? No, what you're saying has to do with something more behind the halacha. But the paiskim, there are many paiskim who say that it's aser on Tisha B'Av and on Yom Kippur to use deodorant because they say that it's sicha. Now, I personally don't understand what shaykhs it has to sicha at all. There is a person who puts on perfume. What's he doing?
Attracting.
Smelling, making a good smell.
Rejecting.
Is that what sicha is?
No. It also smells, but that's not what it is.
Okay. Sicha is you're doing something to nourish your skin and make it better.
Laden.
What?
Laden.
Good. Right? It's nourishing your skin. So over here, when a
Deodorant
person
is nothing.
deodorant is the worst thing. You want to do something bad for yourself, use deodorant. And especially don't use antiperspirant. That's like for sure. Right? That's right?
Blocks your pores.
Okay, we'll
You
stop
schwitzt
over
even
here.
noch.